If you know me, you know that I love talking about habits. And if you know me, you also know that I do not approve of habits that are boring, lame, tiring, exhausting, and not fun. Because my favorite mantra is when you make it fun, you get it done. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you my 10 favorite habits for releasing weight effortlessly, with ease, and without feeling like you need to do stuff that you don't enjoy. So let's get right into it. The first habit is to remember my why every single day. Potentially even journaling in my journal, writing down why is it important to me to be lean, to be slim, to be fit. Because chances are, if we don't have a strong why, then we're not going to take action. So if you don't have a why yet, then I really encourage you to sit down and write down why is it important to you to be lean, and to see if that reason is strong enough. And just losing the weight or looking better is not good enough. Like, what will that lean, slim, fit, toned body allow you to do in your life? Will it maybe allow you to attract your soulmate? Will it allow you to make more money because you feel lighter, you have more energy? What is it that you want to do with that lean body? And if you don't have a strong why, that's completely alright. Then maybe it's time to assess, do I actually want to lose weight? Because chances might be that maybe it's not important enough to you. But if you have a strong why, and if it is important to you, then it is so important to circle back to that why, to remember that why every single day. My why, I've already shared it in one of my recent videos, is a bit more complex, but the main one is that my body is my temple, it's my home, and I love that home to be super clean, super organized, super beautiful, and I just love feeling comfortable inside my home because my body is the only real home I have. Yes, I also have a physical home that I live in, but my main home is my body. And I love my body to be healthy, clean, vibrant, fit, slim, good looking, vibrant, glowing. So that's my why, and that's what I circle back to, and what I circled back to especially on my weight loss journey, because there have been times where it was really tough, where I was thinking about giving up, where I was thinking about giving in and just not continuing. And in those moments I remembered, what the heck, Julia, like, why am I doing this? This is so important to you. You have such a strong vision. It doesn't make any sense to give up at this point. So that's the first habit. And if you only take away this one, you're already going to see results. Guaranteed. How could you not if you have a strong reason to go out every day and take action? The second one is grocery shopping. I love grocery shopping, and if you want to release weight, I think falling in love with grocery shopping, and especially really focusing on the fruit and vegetable aisle and picking out the nicest, most delicious, vibrant, good looking, attractive looking to your unique body in this moment fruits and veggies is such a game changer. Because if you're surrounded by highly desirable fruits and vegetables in your kitchen, guess what's going to happen? You'll want to eat these. So the fruit and vegetable aisle is your best friend, and just buy the things that you really feel most attracted to. The third habit is movement before breakfast. Or rather, movement and water and hydration before breakfast. So before I'm eating anything in the day, I like to earn my carbs. I don't like to look at it that way, but it is something that kind of makes it more gamifying for me to say that phrase. And yeah, while I'm doing that, while I'm earning my carbs, I'm drinking some water, I'm rehydrating on some refrigerated, cold, fresh water. And it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It can just be 20 jumping jacks and a couple of squats, or a couple of push-ups, or a couple of pull-ups. Just getting the body moving, getting the body activated, and letting the cells know, okay, it's time to wake up. The fourth habit is intermittent feasting, how I like to call it. Now you might be thinking, this is kind of lame and not fun. I don't enjoy intermittent feasting. But hear me out. Intermittent fasting, what most people call it, has been pretty popularized in the last couple of years. I know a lot of people doing it, and I personally don't like to look at it in such a strict, boring way of, okay, you have this eating window and apart from that window you cannot eat anything. That's not how I like to look at it. However, I personally have found that if I don't eat the entire day, my body feels so much more energized. And I've been talking about this with my parents because both my parents are super lean. My mom is post-menopausal, my dad is in his 60s. They're both incredibly lean, and I think one of their secrets is that they don't eat the entire day. They have usually 2 meals. They have a breakfast and then they have a late lunch, and in between that they sometimes have a snack. But then they usually don't eat dinner, and I've kind of started doing the same thing and it's worked wonders for me. I usually eat, around half an hour to 1.5 hours after waking up, and then I have my last meal at 3 or 4 p.m. And then after that, I'm done with the day. And that also allows me to have more time in the day where I'm not thinking about food, so I can go on and do other things. I can be productive in that time. And it's just like my body doesn't even think about food anymore because the hunger hormone leptin is no longer being released in that time. So the only times where it's going to be a little bit challenging is going to be the first week. But then once your body has gotten used to that kind of eating routine, that eating window, it's no longer going to require any willpower or any effort for you to not eat in that time. And I would say intermittent feasting is probably one of the most effortless ways to release weight without thinking about it, without using willpower, because you only need to set up the routine once and then it's dialed in and you're no longer thinking about it. I will mention one caveat though, and that is if you are female, I definitely highly recommend to not intermittent fast, so to not fast in the morning, but to have some food after waking up, because I found from my own body and also from talking with other women that it can really mess up your hormones if you fast for too long in the morning. So that's just one thing I want to add here about the intermittent feasting, which I prefer that name. The 5th habit is high water content foods. I've already mentioned it, but I cannot mention high water content foods enough, because high water content foods are so nutrient dense, they have so much volume, and they also satiate us and give us energy because they're still high in carbs. And high carb, low fat foods are our very best friend when it comes to weight loss. And one thing I like about high water content foods, let's say, watermelon, apples, oranges, kiwi, mangoes, papaya, and then all the beautiful vegetables, like literally every single vegetable in existence. So a habit of mine that I love so much is really focusing on those foods and finding the ones that we enjoy the most. So for me personally, one of my all-time favorites is melon. I love melon more than anything right now. And also, I, at the moment, really like zucchini and eggplant and bell pepper, tomatoes, cucumbers, iceberg lettuce. What else do I love? Yeah, I think those are the main ones that I'm really focusing on right now. So those are always in my fridge. Post-production Julia here. I just wanted to mention something really important quickly. People often tell me that they do not feel satiated from just eating fruits and vegetables. And I want to mention that the key to success is really to mix the high water content foods with higher calorie density foods. Because of course, if we eat only high water content foods, then we're going to feel super stuffed, but we're not really getting in the calories. So always make sure that you eat both, like the high water content stuff that you want to incorporate abundantly into your diet, but you also have some calorie denser foods. And the 6th one is to count your calories. You don't have to do it for the rest of your life. You don't have to do it for a long period of time, but just for a couple of days or for a couple of weeks to count your calories. Now, there are pros and cons, of course, to counting it. Con is definitely you're a lot more in your head, you're thinking a lot more about it, and you cannot go as much with the free flow. However, then the amazing pros of counting your calories that I have found is that you ensure you are not into too big of a calorie deficit, but you're actually eating enough so you feel satiated. Oh my god, what's going on here? You don't actually need to be hungry in order to release weight. You just need to be on that edge where you could eat a tiny little bit more, but you're good. You're completely good. That's kind of the edge where we're releasing weight and where we are burning fat. And to find that edge, it's a lot easier when you track and you see how much am I eating compared to trying to guess. And really, counting calories just takes all that guesswork out of it for you, and it's a bulletproof way. And the amazing thing again is that when you have a bulletproof way, you are going to see results. Like, there's no way you're not going to see results. And then when you start seeing those results, it motivates you so much to eat really well, to take care of your body. And then once that cycle is started, once that fire is burning, I kind of look at it like, when you first make a fire, you need to set up the fire. But once the fire is burning, like, it just burns on its own. You no longer need to do anything really. You maybe need to add a few logs, the longer time goes on, to the fire so that it continues burning. But pretty much you're set. And that's how I look at calorie counting. And then one last benefit I have found from counting calories, there are probably more, is that it really gamifies the process as well. Because I like gamifying things in a way, like a video game where you can like get points and you win or you lose, and you don't take it so serious. Okay, maybe one day you went overboard a little bit, fine, like tomorrow I'm gonna play this video game again and then I can win because I have more tools and strategies now for how to succeed. So those are kind of the pros. And if you would like to know how many calories exactly you should be eating to release weight, because there are a lot of factors that play into it, and chances are it's probably a lot of calories you can eat every single day. That's also something I've realized about calorie counting, is that it doesn't have to be this way where it feels restrictive of, oh my god, I can only have this many calories. There's actually quite a big amount we can eat every day and still lose weight. So isn't that amazing? So kind of shifting our perspective away from that lack mentality into an abundance mentality where we see, oh my god, there is so much we can have. So that's really something. And if you would like to find out how many it is for you, then definitely make sure to reach out to me and we can set up a free call where we can talk about how many calories you should be eating. And the link is down below. The 7th habit is to use steaming as my preferred method of cooking. So I'm currently in Italy traveling in an Airbnb and there's no steamer here. And what I found is that the food, when I cook it, doesn't have as much flavor anymore. It kind of tastes a little bit more bland. So for me, this was such a great reminder of how amazing steaming is, because it retains so much more flavor and it also retains more nutrients. And again, the more nutrients we have in the food that we eat, the more satiated we're going to feel, because satiation doesn't just come from calories. It also comes from volume and it comes from nutrient density. And one more thing I forgot to mention about the steaming is that it of course is superior to frying, and in my opinion also baking, because frying, again, you have to add oil, and oil is just not a weight loss food because it's so calorie dense. Again, you can lose weight while eating oil, but you'll have to restrict yourself a lot more, and you'll probably have to feel hungry in order to release the weight. Versus if you steam your food, you can eat these huge bowls of food and you can feel so nourished and satisfied. And then why it is superior to baking, in my opinion, is because it just takes out less water. And the more water, especially when we're eating whole foods like plants, the water is filtered by the plant, and that water is just going to rejuvenate your cells. It's going to revitalize your entire body. So yeah, steaming is my favorite way, and also my tastiest, most delicious way to, if I cook my food. And then again, the ultimate, of course, is to eat it raw and to eat it fresh, vibrant living, and to not denature your food in any way. But yeah, I would say out of all the denaturing ways that we can eat our food, steaming is the superior one in my opinion. The 8th habit is to find a commitment buddy or a coach and to connect with that person on a very regular basis. This is also incredibly helpful. It could just really be a friend. If you have a friend that you feel that really supports you and where you feel like the person believes in you, the person believes in your success and knows that you're going to achieve your goal no matter what, like it's out of the question, that is what is going to set you on fire and that is going to start you taking action. Or you can reach out to me. I help people, I support people on their weight loss journeys as well. I work with them one-on-one on Zoom. So if that's something you feel like you would need, then again, the link in the description box is where to go. The 9th habit is to do something every single day that nourishes you, that is not food. So for me personally, something that's very nourishing is to stretch every single morning. It's to connect with my family, to connect with my friends, and it's also to do these videos and to do my channel and to support others on their journey. That is something that is extremely nourishing for me, and because I do it every single day, I no longer feel like I need to go to food so much. And then the last habit is to fall in love with the process. If you hate the process, if you hate your life, if you hate everything you have to do in order to get your result, you're not going to continue doing it. So the last one is to fall in love with the process.